This is my project, my research project too. For my assistance, I have my PowerPoint to go over the things that I'm going to need to go over. So, Jnana Yoga, this is the yoga that I will be mainly talking about in this presentation. Yoga is knowledge. Jnana Yoga is the yoga of knowledge. So mainly this yoga will be in your mind. If it gains self-knowledge. This is where your journey is going to give you more enlightenment about yourself, and you'll be collecting more information about yourself. This might be stuff that you don't even know about yourself. So basically, you're learning from yourself. You're learning. This yoga is supposed to guide you, and help you grow within yourself. So the questions that are asked while you are doing Jnana Yoga is, who are we? Who are we as people? We can be bad people. We can be good people. We can be smart, wise. We can be dishonest, anything. So this yoga is basically going into depth of who we are, not who anybody else is, not who we could be, not how we used to be. It's who are we in the moment. And then it goes into, who are we spiritually? Are we spiritual? And with this yoga, I didn't really go into detail of what type of religion it is, but who are we spiritually? Or how can we deepen our faith? What is true? What is true within ourselves? How can we know that something is truthful rather than not true? And that's the next question that you should ask, is what is not true? The next yoga I will be talking about is called Bhakti Yoga. Bhakti Yoga, I think that's what it's called. And Bhakti Yoga is a devotion or action that comes from love and the sake of love only. So we're just focusing on love. We're focusing on how we can love ourselves. But then it goes deeper on how we can love ourselves and love God as well. And the overall word of yoga means union. So the goal of Bhakti Yoga is showing love to God and devoted actions of deep love to Him. So not only are we showing love, but we can, while doing this yoga, we can also ask ourselves, how can we show love to God? What can we do to show Him? I would say, like, for me, I'm gonna put like a personal example. So I'm a Christian. So when I think about this, I think of, how can I show love to God? Yes, I can pray to Him. I can talk to Him. I can, read the Bible. But how can my daily actions or my daily thoughts, how can that show love to God? Bhakti Yoga is but not limited to chanting. So with me, I go to church. So when I go to church, usually they I want to say they like chant, but they, we shout, we talk to God out loud. But I say this is a little bit different from what I do, because chanting, I feel like in this case, when people chant, they're chanting to God, they're talking to Him out loud. Mantra, mudras, and then we have prayer. So you can pray. This is a form of yoga. So when we are in our yoga poses, a lot of people don't notice. I didn't notice, but in yoga poses, you can pray while you're doing yoga, and this can get you closer to God. This can, I would say, this can let go a lot of stress that you're holding on. You can let go of doubt. You can let go of fear. You can let go of anger. You can let go of sadness while you're doing yoga, but you're also praying to God, showing Him love. You're doing something that you love while showing the God that you pray to, showing the God that you run to every time you have a problem. You're showing Him that I can, multitask. I can do yoga and pray to you or talk to you. And it's not always like asking. You don't always have to ask while you pray. You can thank God what you need. People write poetry. This is a form of bhakti yoga. You can write poetry. I've never personally tried to seriously write poetry, but a lot of people find this very beneficial. Going to the altar. So going to the altar is basically, you don't even have to be in church service. So when you go to the altar, it's basically a way of saying, I need to be saved. And when you go to the altar, you can bring a yoga mat. And this is also where the prayer comes in. So when you go to the altar, you can bring a yoga mat. You can sit down in your asanas. And you can just pray to God. Pray to God, and but you're also attending an altar. So an altar can, you don't just have to be the only person at the altar. It could be 7 people with you at the altar. A group singing known as kirtan. So I would say a group of people singing, this is a form of bhakti yoga. I want to show you the picture of it. So I found this picture, and actually this stands out because going to the altar, this is how a lot of people look like when they go to the altar for bhakti yoga. Now we're going to go into karma yoga. Karma means action. So it's showing action. How can we improve ourselves? By showing it, not just living it. You can show it. Oh, sorry, I have a little glitch there. So basically, the 4 main principles of karma yoga are ego. Ego is going to be the main topic that I talk about in this yoga. Ego is something, honestly, I think everybody has ego, but it's the way that you control your ego. A lot of people, especially in this generation, a lot of people think that ego is a good thing, and it's not. It's not a good thing at all. Another principle of karma is duty. How can we put into the community? What can we do as people to, really show the action that we're doing good? Attachment and reward. So the main purpose of karma is letting go of your ego, not bringing it in. It's letting go. So if you're angry at somebody, if you want to get come back at somebody, you have to let that go, because the more that you hold that in, the more that you let that in your body, and then you do yoga, is not going to benefit you in no way, form possible. So letting go of that ego is going to be the best thing possible for you. And also with letting go of that ego, you have to really know who your true self is. You can't let go of ego and then not know your true self. So even if it hurts to know who your true self is, you have to know who it is. So then that way you can work on it. And then when you do the yoga of karma yoga, you release all that out, and then you release the ego. So that's the way of benefiting from karma yoga. Now I'm about to go into the history of jnana yoga. I really hope I'm saying this right. So the concept of this was first described in the from the Gita. I'm gonna say that, and that's an ancient Hindu text which focuses from suffering. That stood out to me because that's basically how this form of yoga was formed. I feel like people were suffering and they didn't know an outlet to let that suffering from. And then this is where this yoga came from. So it began in the 7th century, so that was a long time ago. But it started off in India in the 7th century. And I'm really proud of how this yoga progressed too, because not only was something created in the 7th century, but it's still going to the 21st century. So, that's a good look for that. And then a book that I saw about this yoga, and the book teaches you about the history and how powerful that this yoga can be, It's called Jnana 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 Yoga, and it's written by the author Swami Vivekananda. So that's actually a good book that we can actually maybe read as a class one day. So a fun fact that I researched is that this type of yoga encourages people to think of themselves in third person, and this can help a lot because not only we're basically like looking at ourselves as like we're telling a story about our lives, and this is like a good way of getting rid of ego. So that's something that was a fun fact that I learned. So that's my presentation, and thank you for listening.